Hello and welcome here on Latok Venture Capital TV. Today, December 23rd, 2021. My name is Xavier Borja, Venture Capital TV Manager at Latoken. And like every session, we bring you the innovation, technology, and solutions you want to hear about. During all our sessions, we get it directly to hear the news from the CEOs, from the managers about their coming projects. Today, I'm very glad to present a great project, MILC, represented by the CEO and the business director. Hendrik and Eugene, welcome, gentlemen. How are you?
Very good, very good.
Nice.
How are you? Thanks for having us.
Perfect.
Yes, thanks
Really
for inviting
happy
me.
because you're going to be the first metaverse related project that we have on the show.
So,
So we're full of questions, and before we move on to the interview, as a reminder to our viewers, you can see our previous shows and content by visiting latoken.com/vctv/shows. Follow us on socials like Facebook and Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button because you always be informed of great content, opportunities, and even giveaways. As an important information and reminder to our viewers, anything mentioned here is not any type of financial advice. Do your research before making any decision. It's your choices and your responsibility. Okay, with that said, once again, thank you for being here, and let's start the first round of questions. Gentlemen, can you tell me where are you from, and if you could tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Okay. Maybe I start. I'm Hendrik. I'm from Germany. Our company is in Munich, so in the south of Germany. I'm the
Mhm.
CEO. The company's name is Welt der Wunder, translated World of Wonder. This is the German translation. A broadcast company, TV production company since many, many years, since more than 25 years. That is our original background, TV and producing and doing media stuff.
Thank you, Hendrik. Eugene, can you tell us a little bit about
Actually,
yourself?
I'm glad to be with the company for now about 8 or 9 years, and I had the honor to experience the development of the company, coming from the production company, creating and developing the TV stations we have now. We have a TV station in Germany and in Switzerland. And since 2016, we came in touch with blockchain technology and developing our project MILC right now. But I think this is something we can talk about a little bit more after your second or third question.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you very much for that. Once again, to our viewers, I would like to remind you that you are able to make live questions. If you have any questions, please go to the comment section and we will address them here. With that said, yes, indeed, we have a lot of questions. The topic here is about the metaverse. It's a very hot topic at the moment, especially because Facebook recently changed their name to Meta, hire around 20,000 people in Europe, and so on. So people are becoming more aware of this. However, I wanted to ask you, what is the metaverse in your eyes? If you can please explain that.
Yeah. Very, very short is actually a browser-based WebGL 3D
Hmm.
environment. And this is actually the technical challenge. We all know very sophisticated, highly rendered visual effects out of movies or out of computer games. This is always driven by hardware and many, many devices, or your computer itself, uh, graphic cards, and so on and so on. But the beauty of what we have achieved is basically it comes through your browser. It really interacts with wherever you are.
Hmm.
It's a 3D environment, and as this, it could be kind of a new definition what websites are in the future. Multi-layered environments, not only singular pages standing alone, representing your company or whatever. Those metaverses are multidimensional and actually environments where you not only be by yourself, you can also be with partners, other projects that fits to you. And the good thing is metaverses can connect with each other. So you might have the opportunity to slip from one into another, from one word into the other. So basically, above all those metaverses which are about to come, is something that we call masterverse. This is the unification of all projects, websites that come together and interact in a completely different way.
So you think, Hendrik, that in the future, metaverse will become something mainstream, whereas
Absolutely, absolutely. It's actually kind of the dawn of a new development, like we had it in those decades back then. Yeah, there was
Mhm.
always some kind of revolution that came up at a certain day 30 years ago. The internet itself, then www,
Yeah,
World Wide Web, is suddenly in the beginning or end of the 90s, beginning of 2000, the merge of those big tech giants we all know today, like Amazon, eBay, Google, YouTube, and so on and so on, the .com revolution. And out of then in 2014, 15, 16, the blockchain revolution, which is the key technology behind so many things that are about to come. And now the visual expression, which was called right from Facebook, I guess, metaverse.
hmm
We haven't invented the name, and that is the missing link. That is a technology where everything could come together.
okay. Thank you very much, Hendrik, for that insight. Okay, so I think we all have clear now what is the metaverse, how important and relevant it is, and actually, it will be part of our everyday web experience eventually. So, with that taken out of the way, now let's go concretely to milk. Can you please tell us what is the problem that you foresaw at that time and motivated you and your co-founders to start this project?
Actually, it was a media industry problem that we were thinking about how we can solve it. It's about content trading. So there are many, many producers out there on that planet, many, many networks, many streaming platforms, and we are all trading content. Somebody produced the content, and then he would love to sell it to someone who airs it.
Hmm
That is a pretty complicated process, very, very analog, hasn't really changed in the early days of the studios. It's 100 years ago. You have to do it through personal networks. You have to know the people. You have to be in the industry for a very long time in order to generate those networks. You have to fly around all over the planet or go to trade fairs or whatever. We said at a certain point, we're living in a digital world. Let's digitize that. That's really possible. So generate a virtual content trading marketplace which can be reduced to something like a Netflix for professionals. Yeah? It's the layer above the audience. This is where the professional content goes from A to B in order to get aired or streamed.
hmm
So that was the project, and of course we are out of the industry, so we are broadcasters, we are producers, so we know both sides very very well. We're distributors as well, so the whole platform was generated by really really broadcast insiders or industry insiders. A couple of other networks were involved as well. Producers were involved. So basically, if you are a producer you go to the platform, you really, really see a copy, a digital copy of a marketplace you are familiar with. Yeah? That speeds up the process, as we all know. Less intermediaries, less cost, less travel, less whatever. It's just efficient. That was the idea. And at a certain point, we said, okay, we have to have a website, a surface. Then
hmm
we thought about, okay, maybe you can make it a little nicer than Netflix or Amazon. I don't know. But I had the vision whether we couldn't go a little bit more 3D. Yeah, and I know because I'm working with visual effects since all of my life, I know that it's not easy to achieve in a website. And then suddenly one of our developers came along with a programming language called Babylon JS. I never heard about that before. Actually, not many people have heard about that.
I have it.
And he more or less told us, okay, this is what you can do. Yeah. And we were like, wow, then if this is what we can do, then we should do it. Yeah. And out came a 3D environment. You see a little bit in the background of Eugene, a 3D city. We made a decision to generate a city.
Yeah, I can
Mm,
share the screen once again, the tab.
yeah,
Please do. Please do.
yeah. And basically, what that means is each building in that city is more or less an API. Yeah, it gives you access to something. Yeah, on the right side you see the content palace. This is where the content marketplace, the MILC marketplace, is integrated. On the left you see the MILC tower, supposed to become the music world by the beginning of next year. In the background, we have the Game Palace, supposed to become the place where gaming could or gaming partners could gather together. We have official buildings like the university. We want to integrate education into that. Of course, supporting centers, marketplaces, theaters like a cinema, whatever. So you see, it's way more dimensional than its standard website, and it opens up the world for us to integrate partners as well, because we say that is basically the platform that reflects the media entertainment world as it is. Yeah. So
Hmm.
we are the producing broadcasting guys, so more video and these kind of things. But others are reflecting more the gaming world or the art world or the music world. We try to invite them to partner with us, yeah, to really develop that city over the time together. That's basically the idea, and that's, out of my perspective, a new kind of thinking. And then the next level is something in the beginning of next year. It's not only a place for the professional media industry, each user, anyone can onboard as if you are entering a new social community platform like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, or LinkedIn. Uh, so we give everyone access to that metaverse as well. And the idea is, let's try to interact or make it possible that the audience slash the user can interact with the professional media industry as well, because this is not possible today. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so, and there are many, many features that are about to come. We see the whole metaverse the way we have set it up as kind of a lab. It's
Hmm.
not ready yet. Um, it's a version, and it should change more or less from week to week to week to month. Uh, Hopefully, with the influence of the professionals and the audience or the users. If they tell us this is what we want to have, then we try to make it possible. So basically, in a year from now, that metaverse will completely look different. Maybe it already looks like the city in Ghost of the Shell. I don't know, more photorealistic, more interactivity, so on and so on. It's really fun. Nobody knows where the whole journey goes because nobody has done it before. Even Facebook
But
does not
the
know.
interesting thing, it started. Nobody's gonna stop it now.
Yeah.
And another interesting thing, when I was talking with Eugene before, I know that it's not like you have just developed this now that the metaverse is something fashionable. You've been working on this project, as we could call it now, metaverse, but you've been working on it for already several years, right?
Yeah, the not exactly on the metaverse like that. That came. That's maybe a year ago.
Mhm.
Um, but on the platform since 2000, end of 2016, 2017, because in the background of all the content trading marketplace, there's a lot of broadcast technology issues, really, really complicated,
I
like
can imagine.
transmitting video files from A to B, dealing with licenses, very complicated, with metadata, technical information. So this is all integrated. But the metaverse thing is fairly new. We started at a point when where the name metaverse wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for us, it was the 3D website. This
Hmm.
was the working title. And suddenly we read in the news that Facebook called it metaverse and Microsoft as well. And we said, oh, fine. Yeah, actually, is it?
Yeah.
It's exactly what we're
It,
developing.
yeah, exactly. That's an interesting thing. You just didn't coin that name at that
Yeah,
time.
it was a
Yeah,
coincidence. Yeah,
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 but if you see, for example, in Coin Market Cap, you already have the title, the tab, Metaverse
yeah.
projects, and you have all the list there.
Yes.
So it's already like adopted by everybody.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's really, really, we can really say that it is the first metaverse live, yeah, globally.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there are a lot of plans. Facebook is still planning. Others are, we don't think that they're real metaverse. It's kind of a thing. Most of the time it's game engine driven. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is not game engine driven. So our definition is really, really, it comes through your browser. That's it. Yeah. No game engine, no hardware, no nothing at all. This is our definition. This is actually the technical challenge, as I mentioned. And as that, we, yeah, it's really cool. We're a small company out of the south of Germany, but suddenly we are first with something.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I think the biggest difference when you compare it to other ideas or maybe existing metaverses like Decentraland or something like that is our approach wasn't to create a new browser-based game or browser-based community game, but
Mhm.
really uniting this worlds with this technology. So your daily browsing internet experience, where you are going to social media sites, platforms, you are watching movies, you are going to YouTube, you are reading news, and all that is combined in this 3D environment, because this third dimension now in the internet is the big difference and the big opportunity to really create this new experience for the user. So basically, you don't have to invent new functions, but you all now can combine them in one environment. And as Hendrik said, once it is in the platform, and once in a while the platform or our metaverse, a building, a window, is just the window, just the door to another miniverse or metaverse itself. So this is something we are working on already. So we will onboard many partners, and we say it's not about owning everything by ourselves. Yeah, it's just sharing, opening the platform for every need, every daily need, from your daily internet use.
Basically, why did we choose a city? Because you know what a city is, you know how it works, because that's everyday life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just compare that kind of metaverse with a structure like the Silicon Valley. Yeah. There are
Mhm.
many companies gathering together, sharing somehow a vision, interacting once in a while when it makes sense, but they are on one spot. And this is what actually we try to achieve. It's kind of a virtual Silicon Valley where many people could come together. And for us, it's not important whether what kind of business they're doing, as long as they do something that has a meaning for the users. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or it generates kind of a business relationship. And that goes from top down, from to bottom up. Just an example, as a standard user, if you like our approach as a new social community platform, you onboard. So usually you get your profile like on Facebook, that's it. You do not know who is left from you, who is right from you. You're completely alone. And actually, no social community platform actually cares whether you have followers, whether somebody's listened to what you're posting. It's not happening. And we try to bring that on the next level. So the way it works is if you onboard in that social community, you receive a small 3D MILC townhouse somewhere in the background. There's a digital ocean in the background. Somewhere is your house. Yeah.
Okay, so you can actually you will be gifting that.
Absolutely, it doesn't cost anything. Yeah. So what that means, there might be another house next to you. It's you have a neighbor. You have a digital neighbor. You can knock
Mhm.
on his door and ask, "Who are you?" Yeah.
Mhm.
You might have a neighborhood in the street. Yeah. You can interact. You don't have to, but you can. Yeah. So that's the first level. So basically, in the next couple of months, you see around the city center many little houses emerging into the distance.
Hmm.
and this is your address. At this in the next level, that might be. I think we can achieve that in the first 2 quarters of the next year. That you can enter your house. Yeah. So you enter your own 3D environment, which is a room with the standard furnitures or whatever. Yeah, and some functionalities. You can integrate your dashboard. You can do video conferences, voice conferences, whatever you want to do. It's integrated in your own house. That's why we call it Miniverse. Metaverse, Miniverse, Masterverse. So it's yours. You know? And then suddenly things are happening because already the ladies in our department, they kept started asking right away, can I change the furnitures? Can I
Oh, the
replace
interior
it?
design part. Yeah, yeah, they're good at it.
And you remember Sims, the game Sims? Yeah. Um, many kids play that, especially girls play that. And it's interesting how females reacting on the opportunity that you can really do something in that. It's not
Hmm.
only another piece of IT, whatever, voice stuff. It's something you can really work with. So, and if you are interested in changing your furnitures, you might go into the local furniture store where you have a couple of designers selling you some
That and
NFT.
that and
Yeah,
when you were saying this, it actually it came into my mind. If you go to an IKEA, they have an apartment for design with the person assisting you,
yeah,
and people are glued to that. You know, switching, changing, and they enjoying it. So I think
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
good
yeah,
market. Yeah, it's something
absolutely. And
useful.
even if you right now you all know the NFT market and that's integrated. Out of my perspective, I don't see a value in a digital piece of art. Yeah,
Mhm.
actually, I want to have it on my wall somewhere. I want to present it. It has not that much value if I have it as a file on my computer. Yeah. But in
Mhm.
that particular case, if you have that file on your computer, you can put it on your wall in your house. Yeah. So if
Yeah.
somebody visits you, you might see what you have bought. Yeah. Or maybe you can talk about your collection, NFT collection. Yeah. Something becomes visible. Yeah. But or you might feel how multi-dimensional the whole metaverse idea could get. Yeah, it really doesn't stop. So many things are possible, but the main thing is people doing something together. Yeah, it's not again the idea of the next big tech company. Yeah, trying to control everything, owning everything, market everything. It's more like make the people interact with each other, let them do big business, small business. We don't care. Yeah, it's an open marketplace. If you want to sell tomatoes, go ahead, sell tomatoes. If you want to
Mhm.
sell apples, sell apples. All we expect is if it comes to substantial financial transaction, please donate something to the guys
To
who
the
make
cause.
the marketplace.
Okay, that's great.
It's
Now,
always
just a little bit. Now, one thing I like asking the projects here, just for a simple understanding of our viewers. Uh, if we would meet in an elevator, you and me, and you have 2 minutes to describe your project, an elevator pitch, how would you do that? How can you describe your project in 2 minutes?
actually it's a new level of social communities. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's more interactive. It's more real. um, and it really offers to you to get connected with people, um, not theoretically, practically. You know, that's basically what we achieve. Beside of that, it's a place where you can open up businesses, start and run businesses, small or big. Um, we are concentrating on the media and entertainment world, so this is basically our background. Uh, so we guess that a lot of media stuff and whatever belongs to that industry, it's the largest industry in the world. Yeah? Whatever belongs to the industry will be integrated into that metaverse, hopefully. And that provides the community eventually with great experiences. They can do gaming, they can watch videos, can be part of a creative journey of a writer, of a director. They can support musicians. They can finance movies if they want, or media projects. Um, so it's actually there's a lot of stuff you can do in that metaverse.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Information to our viewers. Remember, if you want to learn more about this interesting project, please go to milc.global. Learn more about it. I have visited the webpage. It's very informative, very entertaining as well. So I encourage the viewers to please visit the website and learn more about this interesting project and take action now. Which leads me to the second part of the interview, in which we go more into the tokenomics. Because I would like to ask, it sounds very good about the metaverse and what you have developed, but you also have a token. And my question would be, how did that token gets involved in the whole project and ecosystem?
Yeah, good question, because this is what we thought about from the beginning on, and our vision of a token was to make it to give him really a utility. Yeah,
Hmm.
a utility token by name. So there should be a meaning in that ecosystem. Of course, there are utilities if it comes to professional content trading. Um, there are many pain points the industry know, currency differences, these kind of thing. Once in a while, you're dealing with countries they don't have a currency, like Venezuela. Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody can use the money they have. How do they get access to content? Yeah, if you take an intermediate token, everybody agrees on, then that could serve as an alternative currency that sellers would accept. You know? There's some more technical issues combined with the token when it comes to license trades and so on and so on. Mm, but talking about the metaverse, of course, it's the currency that fully works into that system. Mm. For example, you see in Julian's background, you see already those billboards, which basically is the way the metaverse will do marketing and advertising. Yeah, it's a little
Hmm.
bit more like Piccadilly Circus or Times Square, yeah, because I think it's more nice, yeah, to have it like that. If a company wants to interact as advertisers with the metaverse, of course they have to pay something. You know? There's a certain amount that they have to pay, and if it comes to a deal, they should buy or they should pay us in MLT. You know? So basically, that means they have to get access to the MLT from somewhere. Yeah. Uh, MIT is the main currency we accept in the metaverse. If you are a standard user, that's very important actually, because if it comes to advertising, mm, our decision is that we're going to share advertising income at a level of 50% with the users. Yeah. So it's not that we keep the $90 billion like Facebook every year by advertising 3 billion people and do
Yeah.
not give anything to anyone. It's the opposite. It's like we share 50%. Of course, we can share dollars or euro or whatever. We have to use a token for that. And of course, we take ours, yeah, in order to transfer token to as a reward to someone else. And basically, then we encourage the people, if you take your MIT token and you put it on Gate.io and make dollar out of it, yeah, you don't receive as that much, yeah, compared to someone who stakes the token or who spends the token for small business solutions, who really keeps the ecosystem going, yeah,
Hmm.
has the same value. The more you do, whether you stake or you spend, the more you receive from the advertising amount that we give out to the community. Uh, so over the time, if the community becomes strong, you can imagine what that means in terms of advertising income. That's really a lot. Um, and that could easily change a secondary income to someone. Yeah.
Great. So we're talking really about a utility token here, which
Right,
a
right.
token
And the
that
other
can
thing is
be used
even
in the metaverse.
right. And the content owners as well. We as professional content owners, we don't give content to the social media platforms because we don't get anything for that. They
Hmm.
do pre-rolls, mid-rolls, post-rolls. They market the stuff, but we don't see anything. That's why uh, mainly those platforms have user-generated content. Once in a while, some trailers. In our particular case, we are encouraging our producers to provide the community with their professional content as much as they can. And again, they receive 50% of whatever comes in as advertising. That's a really cool deal. And that gives a lot of opportunities for young, talented producers, even user generated producers, but professionals as well. And for us as users, we get the best content we can get. It's the professional content. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, yeah. Even news providers, they don't like to give their news feed to Facebook because yeah, it's
Really.
hard. Yeah, they don't get anything except maybe some attention. In our case, we are happy to work together with New York Times and other big news providers, solid news providers, but they have to get something from our site uh, so that they really see it's a value for them as well. Because a lot of people are working for that news, they need to be paid somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you very much for that insight. And another insight I had was when I was talking with you, Eugene, you mentioned that the community was very important for you. My question is, why is the community so important for this project, and what benefits do they receive?
Should I answer that?
Yep, if you don't
So
mind,
yeah,
please.
why was the community so important? Because this was the first community we met to receive really great feedback regarding our project. Because as a
Hmm.
media company, we always have been on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and all this stuff. But if you read through the comments on these platforms, it's only about the people themselves saying, "Hey, I'm the first one," or "Hey, you're ugly and I'm nice," and stuff like that. So there never have has been a professional feedback regarding what we are doing. And so when we started with our project, it was the community to give us, for example, their ideas to for the banking building, for example. Yeah.
Hmm.
So they asked us, okay, it's very cool. You're in the media industry. The media industry, yeah, it's really big. It's really interesting. But actually, the audience cannot be part of this industry by now, and they asked us, can we invest in a movie, because this is something which is pretty hard for a normal person. Can we be part of a movie? Can we somehow support the whole process? And we said, okay, yeah, that's a really great idea, how to break this borders between the industry, the professional industry, and the audience, because basically the industry exists that just because there is an audience, because the best movie is nothing if no one watches it. Yeah.
Hmm.
But right now the only way you can support a movie is to buy the ticket or to watch the movie. So we believe in what we call this swarm intelligence or swarm creativity, for example. And this is what we are developing right now as well. We have our own TV shows which are in development, and we are planning to reach out to the community. And we already got some feedback. For example, a TV series about psychology stuff, and one guy from the community, we are working with them regarding another topic, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing right now my PhD in psychology. Maybe I can contribute my knowledge to this TV show." And this interaction is really great, and this is a really great feedback and input. And this is just one example of many others when it comes to um, visual effects, animations, and stuff like that. And what we are doing, of course, is rewarding the community, because many crypto projects, they are just spending their own tokens for some gleam contest reward here, but it's nothing the community really where the community supports really the project, because there is no life cycle for the token. It's just giving away the tokens, and some people of the community are happy then, but it doesn't encourage them to really believe in a long term in the project. I think the main problem is because most of the projects really will need a lot of time till they can show something, some success. And this is another big difference in our project because we are already there. We recently announced the first content deal on the platform. It's just the first one, and we know it starts somewhere. It starts little, but we will be there in 20 years, in another 20, 25 years as well. And this is a journey we encourage the community to go with us.
Okay. Thank you, Gene. This is going to relate to another question, but so far I think our traders will be interested to know how can they join this community of yours. Do you use Telegram alone or use other kind of tools, medias to attract the community?
Yeah, of course, of course. So what's going to happen as soon as you are technically able to onboard the platform as a community, there will be PR campaigns, media campaigns. We're already talking to a bunch of really, really cool influencers globally. They all like the idea because even for them, it's an opportunity to position themselves in a completely
Mm-hmm.
different way, and they see their advantages. So hopefully, they promote the project in their communities, but you need to have some PR as well and advertising. Our own reach in the German speaking territories is something like 40, 50 million per month through our networks. So we have quite a strong reach here, but it's not a
Mm-hmm.
German speaking project, it's an international one. So we need help in other countries. But the thing is, what Eugene mentioned is very important, the kind of interaction opportunities. Yeah. So as he said, if you like, you might be in a group together with a producer who's working on the project because he's inviting you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I have this project. You want to join? Can you help me with promotion? Can you help me with some research? Can you do this? Can you do that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we personally think, or I know that it's somehow quite cool if you are, as a non-media guy, suddenly involved in such a creative journey process. It could be really interesting. And as those things are of high value for the producers, yeah, for the creators, we encourage them to reward those people. Yeah, give them something, because most of the time they have to spend marketing money anyway, a lot, in order to promote their project. You can do it a little bit bottom up by generating your fan base at an early stage, work with them together through the whole process of production, which usually takes a year or two before
Mm-hmm.
it goes into the theater. So it's very interesting. The other thing is, if you're more professional, we use NFT instruments, fractionalized NFT instruments, to make it possible to finance a movie. It doesn't matter whether you contribute $1 or 100 million. It just doesn't matter. Yeah. And again, if you are interested in those kind of things, there is a deal in the background which comes from the producer. We ask for a very high position for the investors. So the investor should be on the same level as the producer itself. Whenever he receives money, the investor should receive money as well. That has to be tokenized. It can't be done with fiat money. Mm,
That
and
comes with that comes in your utility token, right?
right. And but for the producer, I'm speaking as a producer. Again, I have not an investor in my project. I have my audience as investors in my project. Yeah. And if I would
Mm-hmm.
spend $1 in your movie, yeah, of course I promote you. Of course, yeah, because I'm your investor. Yeah. And
Yeah.
we foresee at a certain point, as the whole structure becomes more popular and the people get used to those tokenized ideas, NFTs, utilities, security token, there are many, many instruments already. As soon as companies like Disney is learning what that means, I really foresee that they're going to finance the next Star Wars just through the community. We all know it's going to take 3 minutes, and it's sold out. Yeah. Uh, yeah. But maybe you understand the idea. It's not only for an opportunity for small producers, small structures, even for the big structures. It really makes sense to invite the audience instead of 10 banks or BlackRock uh,
So
funds, hedge
it,
funds, and so on.
so comparing it to another something that for sure the audience is familiar, like crowdfunding. So it'll be like a little
Yes,
bit of a
yeah,
crowdfunding
right,
directed into one specific media project, for example, a movie.
Yes,
right,
exactly.
right.
And just to maybe to add it to answer your question is this is what will be able in our community platform, because yeah, we are using Telegram, but we already know what the limitations of Telegram are. When you have a lot of messages, then it gets really
Hmm.
confusing. On the other hand, you have Discord, and I think we were talking about Discord, and we agreed that it's
It's
really
not my favorite
really
tool.
and that's not another painful tool with maybe too many possibilities. Yes,
Hmm.
but just to make these things easier is when you're creating your profile there, you can do your daily stuff, watching news and stuff like that. But you will get a wallet as well, and the interaction with the professional part of it. If you're this is the vision of the city. Once in a while you are in the shopping mall and doing your daily shopping. Then you can enter the banking room where you will find projects where you can maybe invest in. Yeah, this will all happen in your profile, and this makes it then easier to reward you. If you find something in the banking building and it says, hey, just pick this part to support the project, yeah, and then you're delivering, it can be automatically shared with you. For example, this is what blockchain makes really easy in the end, and this will be a lot more convenient for the user to keep the overview, because this is where the 3D environment makes things really easy, and not like in Discord you have thousands of different layers and you go deep 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 and you say, okay, I'm lost. I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm going for a coffee. Uh, go ahead, Hendrik.
Yeah, I just want to say the things. Of course, we're interacting with any platform which is available for us. But right now, we really foresee that the MILC platform could become its own social community platform. Yeah. We
Hmm. Hmm.
think that through all those partners who come and join us, we are together able to provide a user with way more experiences. Yeah. And we take away that kind of loneliness. Yeah. Out of my perspective, today existing social communities are lonely places. Yeah. If you're not famous, you're more or less posting your dinner once in a while, or some holiday images. You might interact with some friends. That platform always motivates you to join groups. Yeah. Uh, this might be interesting for you. Just join this group. You have 1,000 people talking about this. Maybe it's interesting for you. Make new friends, but make real friends, not only click friends. Real people who you are talking to, or go to that art gallery. There's an exhibition, whatever. That's basically the philosophy of the platform. That anyone who is there gives you some ideas of what you can do. Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, but you can at least. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't leave you alone. And if it becomes a nice, big social community at itself, mm, and it has more, yeah, it's more modern. It really reflects society a little bit more. Provides you, if you want, with business opportunities. Gives you opportunities maybe to come up with your ideas, get famous, um, find people who investing into you and supporting you, or you become an investor by joining projects. That's kind of a interesting, yeah, I would say it's interesting amount of things you can do.
Okay. We have a couple of interesting questions from the audience.
Mhm.
Um, I'm gonna show now this one concretely. What's your plan for attracting users into the metaverse, and will they interact with each other? I think this is a little bit what you just answered right now.
And
That
hopefully the
Yep.
will, we just give you ideas. Yeah. So
Mhm,
even your profile, you might find suggestions from us. Yeah. Like you're interested in cats. Yeah. There's a big cat community over there. Go to that community and make friends. Yeah.
mhm, mhm.
Talk about whatever you would like to talk to. Yeah. So this is what the difference is. No social community platform does that. Yeah.
Mhm.
You have to research. You have to be active. We try to suggest things to you, and as that, we hopefully think that users will interact more than they do on other platforms.
Yeah. Another recurring question we got is that this sounds fantastic, great, very innovative, but when will people be able to start interacting with each other? They can do it. Can they do it that right now, or they're gonna have to wait a certain period of time until everything is ready?
Yeah, they have to wait. We have a Christmas break,
All right.
so the whole world gets to sleep a little bit till let's say mid of January. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to give our developers some time with their families and so on and so. So it's
Do
going.
you? Okay. I'm sure you do.
But that's basically it. We see the opportunity for that we can really open up for any user in the world should happen in this at least in the second or third week of January. So it won't
Okay,
take.
so we're talking like next month already.
We're talking about days. Yeah, more or less everything is ready. Yeah, now we have to test it a little bit. And then we make a big announcement. Go ahead, make your experience, uh, and hopefully see that as or feel motivated to influence us. Tell us what we should do. It's your metaverse. It's not ours. Yeah, we have a part of that. Yeah. But if you don't interact with us and don't tell us, okay, this is what I want to have, that would be cool. Can we achieve that? We have the developers. Actually, Babylon JS, as I said, is a complicated language. There are only 40, 50, 60 developers globally working in that space, and we have
Mhm.
one third of them.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Okay,
So, but they need to
um,
know what to do.
okay, gentlemen, I have good news and bad news. Good news, we're getting a lot of questions. Bad news, we're little bit limited in time. So I'm going to be extracting some of the questions. If you can please reply to them in a briefly manner. Nick asks, are you in talks with large companies outside of crypto?
Absolutely. This is where we're coming from. So actually, we came as a real world business company into the crypto space a couple of years ago. But of course, we highly connected with the real industry still.
Okay, perfect. Um, Another interesting, challenging question from Bert. How can
Just
will
to add
you
something to the last question is it, I think if you look in our city and the different buildings we have there, like the university, like the shopping mall, like the banking building, this may give you like a little hint where the partnerships can lead to.
Mhm.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Um, from Bert, how can will you provide that your platform won't get abused? Fake news, and we have seen a lot of things that has been happening with Facebook and other
Yeah,
media. They really get
yeah, yeah.
banged. So,
Yeah, two things. So on the one hand, we are not, our background is not providing the world with another technical platform. Yeah.
mhm,
We are editors, we are journalists, we're coming out of that industry. So we are globally connected with those institutions, I could call them like that, who you usually can trust. Yeah? And of course, they will join as well. So there will always be kind of look on what is going on because we do. It's important for us. We wouldn't accept fake news. Yeah, and on the one hand, on the other hand, you can through AI and algorithms, you can have that a little bit automized. You know, so that doesn't has to be necessarily all done by hand. Yeah. And the third part is the community itself, as they can interact, as they're not alone, yeah, as that we are foreseeing that there will be many groups. We really do hope that they do help us uh, in keeping the platform as clean as possible. It doesn't mean that we do not know that whether that the word is from the left wing to the right wing. There are many opinions. That is okay, but there's always a point where it gets criminal, where people
Yeah.
got scammed, and these kind of things. And we all know that from Telegram how many scammers are around on LinkedIn and Facebook, and we try to get them out as much as possible as we really care. Yeah. Um, it's important for us.
Thank you. Um, I had another interesting question. I'm hoping we touched topic about this from Nick. Will any properties be available to buy on the platform? There we go, moving to the central land area a little bit.
Yeah, this is actually a question anyone is asking me that, especially from our MLT community. But we make the decision so far. If you are a community member, you receive your house. You can't buy it. Yeah, it's yours. Yeah, you get a bigger one if you did something for a community. Yeah, if you really have done something, yeah, in order to develop the ecosystem or help others and so on and so on. So basically, the next level, the next bigger house is something that you really deserve. You can't buy it. Yeah? Because we said, if we do again that kind of thing, I have more money than you, I have a bigger house, I have more followers. That doesn't count out of our perspective. It's You're an individual, you have one voice, and your voice is as important as the voice of someone who has 2 million followers. Yeah, we don't want that anymore. But you can, if you are a professional, if you are Adidas, yeah, and you want to have a tower in the city center, of course you have to buy it. You don't get it for free.
One question here, and this is my question, personal question, based on my years of experience. When you gave a house in your, let's call it in your metaverse, and that person receives it for free, have you thought, and this is basically just anticipating how human beings behave, that they will create a secondary market until that person who received the first house would be interested in selling it to another person? Do you think that will happen?
I don't think so, because why should I buy something that I can get for free?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, of course, yeah. If you want to buy something that you can get for free from the platform, okay, spend your money. But as it looks the same as the I don't see that there's really a need of generating a market. And as we all know, the digital world is endless. Yeah, so there is not a limited amount of space.
Yeah, but I think Xavier is thinking about if I have um, reached the other level, so I have a bigger house,
Okay.
am I possible to sell it? But
No, you can't. You
no.
can't.
Okay, no, no, okay, yeah, that
No.
was
Yeah.
because
Oh,
sometimes.
the thing is, there is something, as what I mentioned with the miniverse. If you go into your house, yeah, of course you can do what you do in the real world. Yeah, I have a bigger picture. I have a Picasso. You don't. I have nicer furnitures. I have this. I have that. If you're in your environment, of course you can do those kind of things. Um, and of course, there should be kind of a small business operation in the metaverse, as I said. Yeah. If you want to make your internal environment nicer than others, than the standard we provide you with, go out and buy some stuff, you know, and
Mhm.
put it into your house. So you don't see it from the outside, but we leave you alone on in the inside.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. We still have more questions. We also had planned some questions, schedule questions from our side, um, but due to timing, I prefer to paste to ask you the questions from the public, and the questions that we had scheduled. I hope you can join us for our January Metaverse program that we're gonna make, same channel. So, that said, I would like to have two final questions. One of them is, will users be able to buy NFTs in your metaverse? If yes, what type?
Yes, you can. As I said, things which you can use for your little miniverse, but we are already in discussion with some very, very impressive, big global art structures. And eventually, there will be a huge multi-dimensional art gallery in the metaverse at a certain point. And art is NFT, of course. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the way it goes right now. But the other thing we are providing the community with are those fractionalized NFTs, for example, media financing. And then this particular case is not a piece of artwork; it's a license ownership that is in the NFT. So you are the owner of a piece of a movie. Yeah,
Mhm.
and with that comes profit participation, all that kind of things. Yeah,
Thank you.
so NFT is a very important instrument.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Hendrik. Okay, one last question is, how could you produce a video for content creators where you explain very easily how we can earn money with the Milk platform?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do,
Yeah,
we promise.
absolutely. Yeah, we were very fast with launching the platform, and as we said, it like Hendrik said, it's kind of a lab. So we are creating it together, and you see developments. You can see new developments every day. Now we are testing with external partners the whole marketplace part, the professional part, and of course we will deliver tutorials, FAQ, and all that stuff with the beginning of the next year, really to onboard the people.
But it's fairly easy. If the community is there, feed your stuff with the community. Advertising runs automatically, yeah, through ad service, whatever. We don't have to do anything for that. All we do is adding the price. Yeah. And if your video gets advertising, through the beauty of smart contracts is it goes like bing, bang, boom. Yeah. So it's fairly easy. Just feed the community, make your content available, and understand that there is a deal in the background um, that guarantees you that you will receive something for that. Yeah. As
Perfect.
soon as advertising comes in, sure. Yeah.
Great. Eugene Hendrick, unfortunately, we had a time limit. We have reached that limit, but in a way, I'm happy. I'm happy when that happens because that means there's a lot of questions from the audience, and that means that there's an
What did we
interest.
started? There's so much. We can't stop. We can't stop now. We need
Yeah.
another hour.
I gotta keep
Another
going,
hour.
keep going. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze one last question. I think this is rather relevant. And then this will be the last one. Is about the roadmap. Where is your project going to be in the next 3 years?
So regarding the roadmap, we will publish the new roadmap for the next year and for also 2023. I think after the Christmas holidays or maybe after New Year's Eve. So there will be the official roadmap.
Yeah.
Um,
Structurally, we want to achieve this coming year, community onboarding. Um, we want to work on the overall look. Yeah, we might get into partnership with one of those wonderful, great visual effect companies doing that fancy stuff we all know from the movies. We might bring them together with our developers and just try to increase the level of the look of the city. So I don't think that the city will look like that in the next year. It will be more photorealistic. It will become bigger. Yeah, we want to achieve the structure of how more business opportunities are possible. Like the question before, we will do tutorials. Okay, you can do this, you can do that. Yeah. We want to integrate some very relevant partners reflecting uh, strategic industry within the overall media industry, like gaming, music, art, and these kind of things. This is what we want to achieve in the next year, plus some other stuff. And hopefully in 3 years, the whole thing is going to be supported by a huge, huge, huge community. Yeah. Always keep in mind it's not our community. Yeah. It's their community. It's a community. Yeah, it's not
So,
ours. Yeah. So, and this is the offer. Do that experiment. Try to experience another way of social interaction in the computer. Yeah. I foresee that you will discover that things getting more like you know it in the real world. Yeah. And that you will have yeah, many experience on the emotional level, like getting friends with people, real friends, not only virtual friends, being involved in things, having a voice. Um, um, I don't
And
know. I think
this
it's
about meeting at the end of November, we had a little corporate event, and it was really nice because a lot of people from the community were there. Yeah, like community members, ambassadors from all over the world, from Europe, came to this event. So this was really nice. And another thing for next year that
the nice thing was they know them each other since a
yeah,
couple of years through their nicknames. Yeah,
yeah.
they are friends on Telegram. They're talking, they're discussing, they're arguing. They really know each other like couples. Yeah, and
Hmm.
suddenly they met in the real world, and it was really fun to watch them. Like,
yeah.
hey,
Final resurrection.
how do we see you? It's like,
And
Really nice.
another very important thing for the next year is really the first financed movie based on this NFT model, because you always need a showcase. You
yeah,
always need this
Yeah.
first showcase to really encourage the people, maybe to break the ice, to dive into that. And this would be, and this will happen definitely. And this is something I'm really looking forward to, because this will just enable the next level of this technology as well. Because right now NFTs is just about trading little
Mhm.
artwork. Yeah, this would be really the next level of the definition of the possibilities of this technology.
Sounds great. Look, Eugene and Hendrik, I think that you have so much to share with us, with our traders, with all the viewers in general, and especially because you're going to be really launching next month in January. So, what better way to kick off the year? So, I would
well,
really be happy.
the metaverse is live already. You can enter the metaverse now. Yeah, it's metaverse.milk.global. Yeah, so it's already live. Yeah, but those functionalities like community onboarding that is supposed to come in a couple of weeks, and the interior of those buildings. Those are the developments in the next couple of
Yeah.
weeks as well. But already you can join the
Great.
metaverse. Yeah, is not that much experience right now, but you can move it around, test the 3D, all those kind of things.
I would be really great if you can join us again once that is ready, so we can experience, and maybe you can have a small
Sure.
demo for us.
Yeah,
You can take us through your own homes there, your own houses. That'll be fantastic. And show us a little bit
already.
how it works.
Fun.
Let's show us a little bit how it works. So, take into account that again in January we're going to have a metaverse month for
Yep.
our viewers. So, whenever it fits you, it would be great if you can join us again.
Sure.
We love to. Thanks for the opportunity. We love
So,
to talk about that.
So to our viewers, please visit metaverse.milk.global for the experience already. So it is working, it is functional. It's down below. And again, please inform yourselves about this great project. Uh, Hendrik, Eugene, once again, thank you very much for joining us here in VCTV. It has been a real pleasure and a great learning experience.
For us
Uh,
as well. Thanks a lot
Thank
for
you
the.
for your time.
and to our viewers, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we couldn't post all the questions, but we will do it next time. We'll have more time in our next show. So again, to everybody, thank you very much. Stay safe, and we will see you soon.
Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.